As people, we love to build things, from the pyramids to the Hoover Dam. It's what makes us who we are. It informs what we do, and it gives us something to leave behind. But we're at risk at losing all of that and leaving the next generation nothing but an overwhelming culture of debt and a crumbling environment, both built and natural. And one of the reasons for that is because we have a huge problem right now in labor in our country, where the people who drive our economy are average age in construction 50 years old. Let that sink in just for a minute, that the people who make the things of our country, of our world, are almost near retirement. Right now, there is a 7 million, by 2024, there will be a 7 million person shortage in the labor force. Now, when you take in the traditional craftsmen, the joiners, the glaziers, the tuck and point masonry professionals, these people are almost all but extinct because their skills are not being passed on, and the people are passing away. And all of this is because for the last 50 years, we promised everyone, if you go to college, everything will work out and all of your wildest dreams will come true. But the problem, it hadn't worked out so well in the last few years because most people graduating from college only find themselves in debt. The average college debt right now for a student is $42,000 with interest. $42,000. But it gets worse than that. So almost 6% of college graduates are unemployed. Almost 13% are underemployed. That means 1 in 5 college students can't find a job to pay for the debt that they took on. This is leaving our environment crumbling. Our country we are not able to have the infrastructure to restore the buildings that we once built, and we don't have the people to manage that. In addition to that, homes. We are seeing an overwhelming amount of historical homes, both homes of historic significance, but also homes of just simple homes that anybody can afford. And the thing about the home is it's really unique to us as Americans because it's one of those other promises. The promise that if you work hard and you do what's right here, you can afford your own little castle, your own little place to be. Now, there is some good news on this. Things like HGTV's Fixer Upper, shows like Property Brothers, these have really kind of brought that interest back into the old homes and made old houses sexy again. But there's a flip side to that, and that is because there is not enough skilled workers in the trades and also to understand the repair side, what we introduce homeowners into is a debt cycle through replacement products that will always have to be replaced. But there's a better way. There are over 1.6 million buildings listed on the national list. And that creates a huge opportunity. In 2016, there was $12 billion spent in historic preservation construction. It created over 108,000 jobs. This doesn't even include non-preservation historic work done in your regular neighborhood. And I believe the next generation is uniquely positioned to fill this gap. With their sharing economy on things like social media, as they share information, with their ability to promote themselves through social media, they really could step in here with the right encouragement to change our environment. I'm going to give you a few examples of people who I really admire who are doing this now and setting the groundwork for the next generation. This is my friend Scott in Orlando, Florida. Scott is the owner of Austin Home Restoration, only does historic preservation work, doing over $1 million a year in that. He is also the author of the Craftsman blog, the place to go to if you're a DIYer. And this is my friend Amy from Detroit, Michigan. Amy was broken down after getting a college degree, felt like she had no place to go, and she returned home to Detroit, where she found a place employing women and restoring old homes. Gary Vaynerchuk says that the most undervalued commodity in America right now is nostalgia. And so if you're asking yourself what's next, maybe you've gotten a college degree and it just hasn't worked out like you thought, or maybe you're a parent or a grandparent or a venture capitalist or an investor and you're wondering what's next, Well, mark my words today, 2017, invest in preservation because it will pay off. And you will also be part of setting up the next generation for an education that creates income, for a rewarding career, and setting our country on the path to preservation, both natural and our built environment. Thank you, everybody.